Shalom Aleichem, everybody. Hope everything's going amazing. Today I want to talk about a beautiful concept that a great friend of mine suggested. He asked me to relate a lesson from the parsha and take it, how we can take it and apply it to our everyday lives. So in this week's parsha, we learn about Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, the greatest prophet of all time, when he was begging Hashem to let him into the land of Israel. And Hashem, in the end, Hashem didn't authorize him to enter the land of Israel. It says in the Midrash that Moses prayed, and the number might be 512 times or 515. I think it's 512. Anyways, it says had he would have prayed, he prayed 512 times, and he was not answered. It says, had he would have prayed one more time, he would have been allowed to then enter the land of Israel. Out of 512 times, he prayed 512 times. You would think that, okay, I prayed 512 times. If I wasn't answered after this amount of times, there's no way. You're talking about like a fraction of a percentage of the total amount of prayers. What do we learn here? Had he would have prayed one more time, he would have been allowed to enter the land of Israel. So I think we have to be conscious of this in our daily lives when we're presented with a situation where somebody asks us, or we have this little inner battle with ourselves. Should we do this extra mitzvah? Should we learn this extra page? Should we do this, do that? Should we give this extra little coin for tzedakah? We should really think to ourselves, wait, maybe this one extra good deed is exactly what will tip the scales. Will bring Mashiach himself. Because we know, and I've said in previous videos, it's a scale. Good deeds and bad deeds are up against each other. Hashem is constantly weighing the scale. What is stronger? So as you know, one mitzvah could be that very mitzvah itself that is the cause to tip the scales and then bring Mashiach. And then we're there forever. We have the true redemption. So this week's parsha is a perfect example of that, because Moshe prayed 512 times, and we learned that had he would have prayed one more time, that would have been the deal breaker. So let's take this, let's elevate this idea, and let's apply it in our everyday life, and always be conscious of the power of a single good deed. But as we know, everything Hashem does is for a good reason. And I learned an incredible Hasidic twist, Hasidic explanation as to why Moses didn't enter the land of Israel. It says that Moses was such a high level that when the Jews were in his presence, when the Jews were around Moses was able to activate within them a feeling of God's presence. To the point where they always felt close to Hashem. But then the reason we learned that Moses didn't enter the land of Israel is because it had to come from within the Jews themselves. Hashem didn't want it to come from the prophet activating within them. Well, obviously, Yeshua was also a prophet, but Moses was the highest level of prophet, that he was able to activate within the Jew a feeling of God's presence. So we learned that Hashem didn't want it to come from exterior sources. He wanted it to be activated from the Jew himself. Each individual Jew had to activate it through their own effort. Because when it comes from an external source, when you experience an incredible situation, or you meet a tzaddik who tells you something that activates an incredible feeling of holiness, of spirituality within you, it's true that it's an incredible moment and it's real and it's powerful, but it's coming from exterior sources. Who's to say that when you're faced with another challenge, you won't be able to withstand that challenge? But when it comes from the inside, when it comes from you yearning for Hashem from the very innermost parts of your heart, from literally a point inside you that it's not coming from exterior inspirational sources, it's coming from a true yearning from within you for the truth, for Hashem. When it comes from that point, nothing could ever break that. And with that, I'd like to wish you all an amazing day and week, and Actually, now it's Wednesday night here, so I could already wish you an amazing Shabbos, a good Shabbos. And I'd like to thank my good friend Avram for suggesting this video. And he should be blessed, and you should all be blessed. And thank you, and have an amazing, amazing day.